We're camping today. Does it feel like you're camping?
Yeah.
No?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love camping.
All right. Check it out. This is a Mercedes Winnebago Echo, I guess?
Winnebago?
Winnebago.
Oh, you win a bagel?
No, I didn't want a bagel. But anyways, so this is what's going on today, tomorrow, and the day after is this guy here. And, hey, he's back. Yes, Fernando's back. Did you have a good time?
I have a wonderful time.
Can't wait.
Yes.
So we can talk more about that tonight. Anyways, so we have this guy. And it's a new one. So what we got going on is keeping the factory radio because it's got the touchscreen and there's really not much. This is how it's going today. And what we're doing is we're putting a 3-way set of Focal flax in here. So there'll be a tweeter that somehow is going to go up there where the factory tweeter is. A 2.5 mid here in the A pillar, or 3, whatever, 2, 3, I don't know. The flax mid base will go here, mid range, and the mid base goes on here. Now, this is where it goes in this area right here. This is all solid. So we're sound treating the back of this. We're foregoing inside of the door because the speaker never gets inside of the door. And instead, we're putting more energy into the door panel itself because this is what the speaker is physically attached to. Now, we had to swap out the mid bass for the flax shallow because it would fit, but it's got a vented pull piece and it was going to vent into this, which means there wouldn't be enough, so it wouldn't be able to move properly. So, and we don't want to cut this because that would just be stupid. So that means we just swapped it out for the shallow, and that solves the problem. And what we have done here is we've made this bracket that attaches to it. Has these little 16th-inch spacers right here, and that allows it to sit perfectly on the factory screw provisions. So this will just go right in and be all cool, and that'll be that. So now it's figuring out the 2-inch mid-range. So this is the 2-inch mid-range here. So the first thing we did is we put tape all over the A-pillar, and we kind of figured out where it needs to go, what it's going to look like, and then we drew it, we peeled it off, we scanned this, and we brought it into the laptop, and we toyed around with the idea of do we laser or do we 3D print it, and in the end the laser won because we wanted to get it done in a timely manner. So there's a whole bunch of pieces. So there's the mesh. The mesh is like this weird teardropped shape that has like round on one side, square on the other. So we wanted to make sure we copied that. And this is sitting sideways. And so it is a nice looking mid. It's a very nice looking mid. So if we pull this guy out here. Okay, so we pull this out. Let's take it inside real quick. And we have a before and after shot here that we can look at. So this is the factory, and it has this giant area right here. And so we figured we could put something in this area here. The problem is the depth. It's a fairly deep speaker. He wanted the Focal. Originally, we were going to go with the carbon nanos, which would have been fantastic because they would have just, but in the end, he wanted flax. This area right here is going to have a logo that sticks into it. We haven't done that yet because we're still debating on what we want it to do. So this will be two-tone, so this will probably like a gray or a silver, possibly a mirror. We don't know. And of course, there's that weird shape. Speakers in the back. So how this attaches is the speaker screws in. There's thermal nut certs on the opposite side of all of these, and that the speaker screwed into this, and then that's screwed into the A pillar. So as you saw, it just sits there, and the gaps were all accounted for. So then we vinyl dyed the acrylic here, so we could have the two-tone look of flat and shiny, because the radio is shiny, so that the dash is all this shiny acrylic. So we're like, yeah, let's do that, and then this will add one more color to it, which will make it look good. Then beveled the edge, sanded, polished the crap out of it. This was actually polished and looked really good, but we still painted it anyways because we're like, it just doesn't work. And so this is five pieces of acrylic, maybe 2/16, 2/8, and a quarter is what made this up, and then a lot of sanding. So with a van that large, DSP or no DSP? That's a great question. We're actually doing a Arc Audio Blackbird. So the Blackbird is gonna, 6 of the channels are gonna power the front. So channel 1 and 2 will be tweeter, channel 3 and 4 will be that mid-range, channel 5 and 6 will be that mid-bass. The channel 7 or 8 are gonna be feature expansion. He wants to add some rear speakers into this at some point. So we're just gonna dump him some wires to do that, and then we're gonna put a Rockford P300 12-inch sub back in the cargo area back here. That is going to give him the boomity boom. And then we'll tune it, EQ it, and do all the fun stuff. It will be a little different than like what we're doing for a car, because this is going to be obviously 2 people in here all the time. We're not really worried about center, dash, and all that. We just want it to sound really good. So going to go for a really nice sound, tuning it all up. And what's not? Yeah. So that will be that. So the plan is over the next couple days to finish this. He's going to take it home every night because it's just not, it obviously doesn't fit in here. He doesn't live too far away, so we're kind of working around that, which is a lot of fun. The sub amp will go up here in this area, or the Blackbird will go there, but we're not getting that today. Really just concentrating on the speakers, figuring out what brackets we're gonna need. So got the brackets for the mid. I got to make another one, and then I got to build another tweeter pod. So that was pretty cool. But this was the first shape, and so this was kind of the template to go off of. And so this just kind of sits here like this. That was the goal. And then this piece, there's another piece here. There's another piece here somewhere. I don't know where it went. Ah, here it is. I put it out of the way. So this piece is the template for the screw holes. So this will sit on here like this, and this is what I use to mark where all the screw holes are going to be. So, yay! Lots of fun. So much fun. All right, Bobby says, did sound dampening on one of my doors yesterday. GZ DM door kits. Didn't you get those a long time ago? Just finally getting around to it. Do you buy full sheets of Sintra? Any idea what you pay for a full sheet of 1/2 inch? Yes, we do. We cut it into 4x4s once we get it, and I want to say it's like 100 and something a sheet. I feel at this point like everything's 100 plus. It is a bit ridiculous. That was before the nonsense that's going on right now. I can only imagine what it is right now.
It's going to be more?
It is probably going to be more. I don't know where it comes from though, so you never know. But yeah, it's 100 something a sheet. What's up, guys? What's the best way to tie into a 2025 Toyota 4Runner JBL system? Did they make the Sub Pro for that yet?
I don't know if they validated.
I would check over on Pack and see if they make a Sub Pro for that. If they don't, probably the front mid base. You could also call Pack and see, if you get somebody that's, in the mood. Everything minimum $100. Exactly, right? It's ridiculous. Did you guys see that Pack Audio finally came out with a module for the Silverado with Bose? Yes, we've actually tested it already. It's a fantastic piece. But nope, it's about time. Have you guys done 2020-25 CRV hybrid bass audio? If so, no, we haven't done one of those yet. believe it or not the most popular cars here. Cheapest I found is $150 a sheet here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Ooh. Phoenix is kind of hot, man. I don't know if half-inch Sentra.
Yeah.
That might be like, you got to keep in mind it's low temp product. So, you know, if you're going to, you got to use it in places that are either small or non-structural. So like making door pieces is great. Making big flat pieces, not so great. At that point, you want to go to like HDPE. Yeah, whatever. Hydro polyethylene. Yeah, that one. Because it will start to warp. It doesn't take much. That is for sure. Even half-inch, you'd think, oh, it's so... No. So, you got anything?
I got...
No?
I got
Good?
nothing.
You done with this one yet? No?
That one is done.
Okay.
So we just have to put the speaker on.
Okay. Only took 3 years to do it. I understand, Bobby. I understand. I am not commenting on it because I'm still so far behind on my car. It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Hi, Haley. So that's what's going on here in the Bay. It is Monday, and in an hour and a half, we will be live on Facebook and YouTube taking your questions. Fernando's back. We had a great show Saturday with Chris Vera and Phantom Chris. So that was fun. We had double Chris's. Double your pleasure, double your fun. So Chris Brinkley. That was a good show. If you didn't catch it, definitely go back and watch that one. However, I'm going to try to get this other door built for him before the day is over and start cutting out the acrylic for the other A-pillar. And we got to get this radio put back in so that he can...
already start raining.
What?
Just kidding.
I was going to say it's not raining. It's hot as hell. Anyways, we got to get the radio put back in so that you can take it at 6:30 and go home. What do you like better, MP3 or AAC for great audio? I don't use either one. I'm just whatever Apple's iTunes high res puts out, that's what I listen to. So, now I got a DSP. Now I'm going to go 3-way active front. There you go. Fantastic. That's great. Fernando.
Yes.
Do your job.
I'm trying to do my job. But if you want to see some sound dampening,
Just say sound treatment.
Sound treatment for your doors or for your cars, go ahead and head out to morelhifi.com. They have really nice sound treatment for your car. The one is the fuzzy one and things like that.
Fuzzy one?
Yeah.
You mean the foamy one?
The foamy one. There you go.
Listen, we're not talking about JK tape,
yes,
bro. So they have sound treatment. They have all types of sound treatment. They have the rings for around your speakers.
Rings for your speaker also. So they have you covered. So go to morelhifi.com. Go here on Instagram, Morel_America, and go to Facebook, Morel America Inc. So you can find your sound treatment for your car.
I'd just like to apologize. Fernando's kind of tired. He just got in on a flight last night. So if he seems a little disconnected, that would be why. But hey, Morel's the place to go. Hey from Boston. Hey from Clearwater. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, did you turn one of these fans towards yourself? Is that better? Yeah, because there's a fan right here.
Yeah.
There's one above your head, too.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally just aim them towards yourself.
The thing is, like, the heat is just circulated.
Oh, I know.
So I'm dying. It doesn't matter.
I know.
You know? Like, you're not helping.
I'm not.
I know.
I'm not helping at all. I'm like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
But you're just killing me slowly.
Yeah, with my songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the song?
Yeah, killing me softly. Or is it killing me softly or slowly?
Softly?
Maybe it's softly.
Okay. Alright, so I
Oh, you did the wrong side.
What?
It's the wrong side.
What?
Make sure he has plenty of footage there.
Footage?
Yeah, like.
What about now?
I don't know, man. That's what, 2 feet? 18 inches?
2 feet? Why do you need 2 feet?
I don't need 2 feet, but I mean, I just want to make sure there's enough.
I don't even know where it's gonna be.
I don't either. That's why I'd just rather it be enough. Hola, muchachos.
¿Qué pasa?
Hola. It's more like hola, muchachos.
Arturo.
Yeah, killing me softly. Yeah.
Killing me softly. Who sings that?
Some chick. It's a terrible song.
Really?
The Fugees. I think it's the Fugees. Hi, when will we see my beautiful Mary Lou? She's in another state, bro. It might be a minute.
It's not enough with me?
No.
Come on.
Does the Kicker LX7 channel have a built-in full DSP? None of the Kicker amps have a built-in full DSP at all. So the LX has a crossover. And it has delay for the right-hand speakers only. And that's it. It has aftershock for the subwoofer. That's all it has. That's all it's capable of doing. That's all the chip is going to provide for us. So, no DSP. Not there yet. Anyways, day 2 on the Mercedes Winnebago. As you just saw, Fernando is running the rear speaker wires. We're not putting in rear speakers.
Yes.
We are prepping for rear speakers.
Yes.
I
want a bagel.
I want a bagel too. Passenger, driver's side, tweet or mid-range is in place. Passenger side went in yesterday, so we added the Winnebago to it. So it says Winnebago. That was the little extra piece to go on the tweeters. Went into the factory tweeter spot. Fernando worked on these yesterday. Went with so it's a flax 3-way set. These are the shallows. It's the only change we had to make. Today the floor is out. The wiring is done for the dash. So what we got going on here is these plugs allow us to just simply plug in our wiring to it. And also, if he wants to go back to factory, all he has to do is plug back in. Because this is just a left and right output. So we just decided to go this way on it. Makes a lot more sense. So this is our signal coming from the radio, and then these are all our speaker wires here. So that now with that done, these will all be able to go into the dash, and we get the dash back on, which is cool. With the floor out, there's plenty of room to run wires, so we have this big wiring harness here. And this is for the P300 sub 10-inch, 12-inch? 12-inch. That's going to go in back here behind where he's working. This is for the Blackbird. So what we got going on with this, hang on, is we made this lip, this tray here. There's 6 screws. There's still only 2 in right now. There'll be 6 screws that hold this in place. And then there'll be this piece over here. This piece that screws into that, and so this is just going to slide right into that hole, and that way we can pull it in, we can pull it out, instead of having to remove the seat anytime we need to do any service, because that's a pain in the ass. It's the easiest way to put that. So we came up with this idea instead. So these wires will be long enough we'll just attach everything, and we have plenty of room in here. So we're going more for serviceability and function, as opposed to just 10,000 zip ties and stuff like that. So everything will just be tech flexed and zip tied. So for example, this is the rear speaker harness here for those wires that he's working on. And so once he gets those to that location, this will get soldered onto it, and that way when he's ready to do the rear speakers, he can just simply plug these 2 together. But in the meantime, they don't need to be connected, so we don't have to worry about the wires just being live in the back of the car. These 6 pairs of wires will get connected to the wire that is coming up underneath the seat, along with this, which is our input. So this will get soldered in there so that these can easily just be unplugged and plugged back in, making it super easy. There was a question the other day where somebody was like, all these wires are the same color. It's like, yeah, that's the way they designed the plug, but all these numbers correspond to these pins. So I don't need different color wiring. I just need to know what pin location they're in on here. Like this is pin 1, and then I'll know exactly where it's at. So yeah, it's fine. Where even with this, they do make these different colors, but it's not necessary, and they only have 4 colors and there's 8 inputs. Either way, we'll be running and leaving plugged in the USB 2, just because it's going to be hard to get to. Power wire will go this way, so that will get attached to this and then go forward into there. These will be these will be kind of free range so that we can just plug these in as needed. Covered in like a Tech Flex or something like that. Haven't decided yet, because it's kind of all one big thing. And then that'll slide in and it'll be good to go. We won't have to worry about that. And then he's working in that location where the P300 is going to go, and they're going to build something around that. So that's not done yet. So right now it's just chilling out, but he wanted to make sure he had enough wiring for it. So the umbilical cord that we made is this Tech Flex piece right here.
It's an Anaconda, so
your Anaconda don't want none. So he'll be able to move it wherever it needs to be, and then just leave the wiring there or take it out or whatever he wants to do.
Need it, this one is gonna go just exactly right there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna stay there. So.
Yep. So that'll be that.
Out of the way.
Out of the way.
Yes.
What's up, dogs? Woof woof.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Doc.
Yeah, that's what's up, Doc. Bugs Bunny. That's what's up, Doc.
I'm sorry, I watch it in Spanish.
It's still Doc.
It says like, yeah, de nuevo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No idea.
Right?
Yeah. Don't know. So it's coming along slowly but surely. Had to come in this morning and do the driver's side tweeter mount because we got the passenger side done. So all the speakers were the first thing we got done this morning. Now it's just a matter of running wires and doing all that. So hopefully we're going to try to at least get everything in and wired up by the end of the day. And then tomorrow, as per usual, we'll do all the tuning portion of it.
Stop by today?
Boston Mike? Yeah, Boston Mike came by today and said hi.
He got his massage next door.
Dropped off some water. So gotta stay hydrated. It's hot out. So anyways, that's what's happening on the Winnebago. Outside of that, nothing else I could talk about yet. Fernando.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the 5 Minutes with 5 Star, guys. This show is brought to you by MorelHiFi.com. MorelHiFi.com is the place that you can find all your needs about car audio. Please visit MorelHiFi.com. Here on Instagram, Morel_America, or on Facebook, Morel America Inc. Thank you for being sponsored of the 5 Minutes with 5 Star.
Que pasa, Fernando?
¿Qué pasa, man?
Getting warm there, starting to get nice and humid here. Yeah, it is not great. This is probably
humid. It's always been.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Chris.
Yeah, this is probably the last that we'll want to do outside for this year because it's just getting ridiculous. I didn't even want to do this. I'd really tried to talk him out of having us do it, but he was insisted because we've done all his other vehicles. Advertisement voice for Fernando is funny. What's up, Jeffrey? Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you were gone, I had the Biggie rocking.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every time I turned it on and we'd just be getting into the music, someone would come over and ask a question. And I'm like, God, dude, come on, stop bugging me. Like the one time I'm actually going to listen to music. So for those who don't know, this is the Biggie.
Yeah.
I did find that leaving the grill off, way better to use. Like, I don't know. Because I kept having to mute it. You know, and I would just go here. Yeah, I know. My phone was way over there. So I would just press this, and I can see this is getting dirty. Like...
Well, it's getting dirty because of the dirtiness.
Right, yeah, well, I know, but, me. Our install bay is not dirty, bro.
Okay.
It's pretty clean. Speaking of install day, first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2 came out today. Ugh. Damn, I like that serious sexiness on your voice. Ooh.
I know.
Yeah, very good. Very good. You didn't have that on when I was there. Insert sad face. Because every time someone would come over, I would just mute it anyways. So even if it was, I would have muted it. If only you had some towers to. Yeah, no, they're right here. They're next. Trust me.
We have them.
We just got to get through this week. Part of next week, I go on vacation. I come back. I feel better, and we can go crazy. Yeah, opinion on Nemesis audio product. You know, I've only seen Nemesis once at Knowledge Fest, and I really didn't even get a chance to talk to him. So I don't have an opinion.
Right.
It's not the Acolyte. Yeah, the Acolyte was terrible. All right, so last week we didn't do any Instagram. He was out. I was busy. It just didn't happen. But I did do some work here in the Bay that I said I would show you guys what we got done. Hello, any ideas what can sound good and loud on a crotch rocket as far as speaker concerned? Bluetooth.
What is
not a? It's a motorcycle. Don't really do motorcycles.
You can go to Arc Audio.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Get the motos.
The motos. Yeah, good call.
With the
we know they're loud. We heard them in the Jeep the other day. Okay, so last week I had some time, and we've been talking about getting rid of these. So I managed to get rid of four of them. And actually, this one's almost empty too. I just got a couple things I need to move, and all of that is moving into these. So I have one now. I need to get a second one, but I have to pay taxes, so that's going to have to wait. So anyways, all of these now house a lot of the products that were there. It makes it really nice. So like here's nutserts and bolts are all in one thing, which is really cool. So highly organized. That's the way I like it. The other thing too is this is going to have to get lifted off the floor, probably about 2 feet, because it's down really low and it makes it really hard to get to. So we're gonna, and there'll be two. So right now there's one, and that's cool. The other thing that I managed to get done is we finally have the last of the cabinets installed. So that was the last to go in. I was able to get that done. We moved the boxes up there last time, so we were able to move all of this stuff around, get to our 3D printers super easy now. So that's really nice. These are two of the cabinets. Two of them I had to throw away. I'm going to take these over to Paul, and then they'll be out of here. I still have to figure out what I know what I want to do here, but I need to get rid of this. Fernando needs to go get it stripped. And then one of these totes is actually just going to be for wiring. I think this one. That way we can get rid of this whole trash can thing and actually maybe use it as a trash can. Probably not. So that's got to go. But otherwise, this is looking fantastic. It's actually kind of nice and easy to service. We have our filament is up inside of here, which is cool. Don't have a ton right now, just because I bought a bunch of small rolls for colors to do stuff just to see what we would like before I invest a ton of money in filament. Plus I also have some of it at home because I play with it at home. So that got done last week, which is really cool. So that made me feel better. And then I'm working on a special project, which we'll talk more about later once it's done. Looking to Cicada for bike speakers. There you go. Super nice. Rockford Fosgate makes install kits for motorcycles that are super easy. This is true. Helmets with headphones built in. There you go. Well, there you go. There's a couple options for you. What do you know? Thanks, guys, for contributing. Like it. So, we're finishing up the Winnebago. Trying to get some stuff done, which is really nice. Fernando's crawling around inside of it.
Fun.
You're having a good time.
No, not really.
Yep, it's super sexy. This channel makes it super easy to run wiring, which is great. Thank God they finally did something cool like that. So we'll continue to move on. The only thing we have to do is we have 2 hours to get it back to where it's drivable, so you can take it home.
What are you pushing?
That's okay. Afternoon. Good afternoon. Good day, sir. So that's what's happening. This has been 5 Minutes with 5 Star. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I can't see the air conditioner thing. The light's wrong. But let's hope that turned it off. Good. Well, it's late. Welcome to 5-star after dark. Putting in a couple extra hours in a couple nights this week, trying to get a project done for next week. It's more of a personal project, but it's really cool. I kind of wanted to share it with you. It was hanging on the wall earlier today, but spooky, I know, right? But I finished it, stayed late and finished it, and I think it's cool. Check it out. So this is obviously Sorcerer Mickey, and it's made out of acrylic, stacked several different layers to give it some thickness and some 3D effect to it. And of course there's LEDs behind it, 2 different colors. So there's LEDs behind the hat, so they light up white, and then of course it has LEDs around it to give it that, I don't know, make it look cool, because like that's how you make LEDs look cool. So there's a bunch of magnets on it because this is designed to go on the cruise ship. And so as you can see here, it's like a bunch of different sizes to get it to have some depth to it. If we flip it over and look at the back, you can kind of get an idea of how insane this is. So it works off of 3 AA batteries. These are low voltage, extremely low voltage LEDs, so they'll run all night. Big magnets, and then the hat, these are always white, and then the ones on the side, you can use the cool remote to change whatever color you want. It's got this guy right here, and there's the IR is right here. So if you just, let's say you want it red, there you go. So now it's red, and so that's that. It has this clear around the edge so that it gives you that effect when it's stuck on something, helps light up the edge. There you go. So that has been the side project for the last, I think, like a week or two. Got to make Haley happy, right? She's got to have something cool for the cruise ships. But anyways, that's an obscene amount of acrylic and an obscene amount of lights. Mainly just a lot of acrylic goes into this. But hey, that's what you can do with a laser, right? Pretty neat. This is the 4th one of these we've built. So they keep getting more and more complex and ridiculous. But they look cool, and it's just some of the fun stuff you can do with your laser. And we are not working on this Tesla. This is actually not getting worked on. This is because the motorhome that you saw during the day, we can't bring it in, so we swap cars. So vacation cruise. No, it is for the door, and this is the getaway. So next week, Fernando was gone last week. I'll be gone next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's another one coming up for vacation apparently. So I have to build something totally different for that because you can't use the same thing twice. So I'm accumulating quite a collection of these, which is really cool because they're pretty awesome. A lot of fun to work on. They get fingerprints all over them because they're acrylic. But where's Fernando's LED magnet? I mean, I can make him one. It's definitely not a problem there. We can do all kinds of neat stuff, that is for sure. We've been combining acrylic with 3D printed. Made Haley a really cool graduation door thing. So, but yep, I just wanted to show you guys that because I'm taking it home because I want to test how long the batteries work for so I can figure out how many I have to bring on the cruise. But yep, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to show you guys one of the projects we've been working on. Not car audio, but hey, we got to have some fun, right? You got to do fun stuff every now and then. You got all these cool tools. So I lighted Morel hat for him to wear during promos would be good. Yeah, we could probably figure something out. I mean, it's just time, right? But for sure. I don't think he would wear it. He's not a hat guy. Like, he doesn't like hats. You know? He's not into that whole hat thing. Like, I like hats. I have a bunch of hats. I got a ton of hats out at CMA. I came back with like 6 new hats. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, he's not really a hat guy. It's kind of weird. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Thanks so much, as always. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll show you what the Winnebago looks like with it all done. So, the outdoor live is a cool idea. I got to work on that some more. Thanks. You guys have a wonderful night. See ya. Bye. Camping trip's over. This thing's out of here. Soon, hopefully. So this is cool. This awning's been up pretty much all week. As soon as you start up the car, it automatically closes the awning, which is pretty cool. I mean, that prevents any person from driving away with it on. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. So, got a little tiny house here. Bed in the back. Subwoofer's gonna go there. That. And then, there you go. Fernando was just putting the finishing touches on his cell phone mounts. There's some wires here for rear speakers that he's going to add at some point. That you can just tuck in and whatever. Now what we did for those is, here is the amplifier. So this door, factory, and then our amp is down in here. Here's the USB, and then if you reach in, here is one end of the rear speakers, and if you feel around inside of here, actually you can just lift up on the foam and cheat. There we go. Here is the other end of the rear speakers. It's located right here. So when he's ready to do his rear speakers, he can just plug those 2 cables together and they're all set. Amplifier, if we need to service it, pull these 3 screws here. Whole thing comes out because we added this piece to it. So this just comes all the way out. You can set it right here and you can take it out if you need to. It all just unplugs. It's the cool thing about that style amplifier, the Blackbird from ARC. Then we just put that back in. And there you go. Yeah? Fernando feels like poo-poo. He's getting the, got the Seattle crap that he brought back with him. Yeah. So, got the custom-made pillar mounts, flax tweeter, flax shallow mid-bass. One thing we learned yesterday from Boston Mike that I totally forgot about, the center channel in this is a dual voice coil. One voice coil is for the radio and one voice coil is for information. So basically what you do is you turn it on and you unplug the one that creates radio sounds and you leave the other one connected, and that way the two-way conversation will still happen, which is cool. There's the driver's side. Got the Winnebago logo on it. So there's those. What do you think?
Yeah, fantastic.
Does he have TV in the back? No, he's got TV right there. So the TV's there. If you mean like in the bedroom, I have no idea. I don't think it. No, there is no TV back here, but I think the way the bed's set up, you actually can see that. But I think he's putting a bigger TV in here because I feel like that's the first thing you have to do is put a bigger TV in, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
That's for the table. That's because that's your dining room. So probably also your second bed, because the table probably goes right here on these lips, and then you could sleep a third person, which sounds terrible, but whatever. There's a seat belt, so I'm assuming you can sit here while you're driving. You could probably sit there while you're driving, so 4 people. I mean, whatever works. But now it's got a super loud Focal system in it. So,
Yeah.
let's see how wide we can, how narrow we can. There you go. So that's it right there. You want to put in some DRM free?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, man. Check the other one, maybe?
They don't have good iPhones. I have a shitty iPhone. I'm sorry.
Oh. We'll probably open the door and we can get you a cable. It's just some weird 3D printed thing. What do you need? Just a USB-C to Lightning? Alright, he'll go get that. So while he's doing that, we had our stuff. So we had a freaking mic cable go bad today. That wasn't good. Luckily, we have backups. Why do we have backups, you ask? Well, because at one point in time, we used to do an on-the-road live show where we would interview people at an event, and we had, because, you know, I like to spend money on stuff, we have these so that we can do a live, you know, old school, hey, what's going on style interview. We haven't done that in a very, very, very long time. But we have the kit for it in case we ever wanted to do it again, which is kind of cool. We also have, so it all plugs into a camera. This is the mixer here. So this will take up to like 4 microphones. That was why we ended up doing it that way, because trying to find like the Rode at the time, they didn't have small Rode mics like they have the little tiny things now. And plus finding something with 3 mics was kind of still is super difficult, but you can hear this thing jamming. So let's hop in. Good afternoon. Would you happen to know if the Metro tailgate camera fits Silverados are digitally centered, since they sit off to the hip? They are not digitally centered. I know. It's one of those things that I complain about. I wish radio manufacturers would put a digital signal processor into their radios so that we could adjust those kind of things. All right, here we go. Turn the bass down a little bit. There we go. Crank it up. See if we can cut. No, the volume, the main volume. There you go. I think it's funny that he wants rear speakers. This thing gets
really nice.
This thing gets super loud. That bass is nice. We say the P300s, bro. Is way too much bass. Way too much bass. Does that have to? No, it has, dude. It's literally a Rockford amplified P300. We like, dude. It's there. It is. There's amplified. Here's our cool cable that we make, so that he can move it wherever he wants. But yeah, it's gonna go there. That's it. So what we did is we put the Blackbird, which is 8 channels of power, 12 channels of DSP. Channel 12, the RC output, feeds the P300, so we can control it, cross it over, do whatever we want, EQ the crap out of it, goes there. We're doing nothing. Like, the only thing we're doing is coming straight out. This has crossover and all that on it. We just leave that active. So there's no EQ happening there. It's plenty loud doing all that it needs to do. That thing sounds stupendous. It's pretty incredible. I know.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have fun.
I'm like, what are we talking about? I'm like, Fernando's gaslighting us.
I know. Well, you win over
I'm like, are the barbers here? What's going on, man? Should get the barber and let him hear this. He's been looking at it all week.
Yeah, he's been looking at it all day.
It sounds beastly. So, yeah, no, it turned out really nice. Party bus just need a stripper pole. Right there, baby. Just got to put a top right here. You got a stripper pole, man. What speakers went in the thing? So these are, so we have Focal Flax. So it's an active system powered off the Blackbird. So you have the Focal Flax tweeter in the top.
Yep.
Focal Flax mid-range in the side when we made the A-pillars. Made the bracket for that. And then this is the shallow Focal 6.5-inch mid-bass because we don't have a ton of room. So yeah, that's what's happening here.
Sounds amazing.
So, and then he has 2 more channels to go to these rears, which he bought a set of Morel Virtus Carbon Nanos because they're really thin, and he wants to just put them right here. And tell me a little bit about the Virtus Carbon Nanos, Fernando.
Well, the Virtus Carbon Nanos, actually, you can put it anywhere. Exactly right here. In a classic car, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic, because they are so shallow and they create so much mid bass that you cannot believe how much mid bass they can play. You can go to morelhifi.com and find the measurements and how low they play. So morelhifi.com, you want to see a picture of it, Morel_America here on Instagram and Morel America Inc. on Facebook, guys. So
there you go. And in case you're going, I've never seen those. How shallow are they?
it's a pizza box.
It's a pizza box. It's literally, oh, hang on. It's literally a pizza box. That's them. This is how shallow they
That's
are.
exactly. Dude,
So that's the bottom right there. That's how shallow.
This is thicker. This armrest is thicker than the
I mean, the
subwoofer.
goal is,
See, I would put it here. Like a two. Right
yeah, I
there
know,
on the
I know.
bottom.
Well, that's up to him. He can put it wherever he likes. Either way.
Either way.
Whatever he would like to do. So
he
he's
likes.
whatever he would like to do. Okay, so questions. You said, what crossover on the mid bass? The mid bass is crossed over between 350 and 100. The mid bass is 350 to 100. 24 dB links with Riley. I know it looked like I was gonna hit that.
This?
Yes, 350 to 100.
Not the mid range.
Yeah, 350. 380 to 350.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5,000 to 350.
That's the mid range.
That's the mid range, and then 350 to 100. Yeah, it's not a lot. I mean, how much do you need? We started at 80, but then the doors were buzzing a lot, so we changed that. Let the sub do its job.
You should come in here this one.
I would mistake those for cookies and eat them. I mean, yeah. What do we?
What people want over there.
What do they got? I'm sure ours sounds
Open
louder.
the door. Just open the door. Let them hear it.
Oh yeah. So we got the. He's checking out. He's getting some louds. So he's got some drag playing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Slapping on bobos, slapping on
Right,
bobos,
baby.
slapping on bobos. Are the Morels just the woofer and no tweeter? No, it's got a woofer and a tweeter. It is a coaxial, or what they like to call an Integra point source. Let me bring it inside here in the light so that. Okay, so here's a closer look. Whoa, let me fix that, sorry. So there you go, there's your tweeter. It's a carbon cone. You do need some space on the front because it does have a roundness to it. That's why it comes with the grill attached in it. But no, there's your tweeter, there's your mid bass. And these things rock, man. Don't kid yourself. When we did the training with Morel 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, we built those enclosures that had a set of Virtus Carbon Nanos and a set of Virtus regular. And we were like, it was a blind test. And we were like, hey, which one do you guys think is which? And everyone picked those as the regulars. And we're like, nope. And they were like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Those Morels look like whoopee cushions. I thought you were going to say whoopee pies. Can we get a look at the install on the truck? So there's really not much to see So if you want to look at like the super finer details, so here's the wire for the sub. It comes out of here, and he wanted to make sure he had enough to do whatever. So it's a braided loomed piece of wire that's easily removable. So he can pull this all out, and there's no exposed wiring or anything like that. We made the custom pods to put the 2-inch in the dash. That one in the factory. We made mounts for the 6.5s to fit in the factory locations, and then Fernando sound treated the crap out of this. Your phone is going off. Which you can never have enough. And then this little area here underneath the passenger seat, we made a special custom bracket. This is the Blackbird. These 3 screws come out. We made this channel here, and we can pull this whole thing out and service it, and we can tuck the whole thing back in. So, and then you can put that on there, and everything is good. This is a foam piece, so this isn't like attached, so to speak, so we don't have to worry about heat or anything like that because it will breathe. The battery is located right there, and we put a power distribution block in that with the power wires that go off. So there's a cool tunnel right here and right here. So all the speaker wires and everything come in attached here. We put a bunch of harnesses. You can see this all yesterday. You can see all the harnesses that go there. But everything just kind of plugs in, and of course everything can go back to pretty much factory. With the exception you will have holes. But that was his choice. Oh, did I mute the audio? Good, man. Hey, can you see if there's audio on the thing?
Audio?
Open this up and see if you can hear me talking. I might have put my finger over the mic.
I'm trying to open it.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Hello? I'm trying to open it.
Oh, there you go. No, it's working. Sorry, I might have put my audio's good now. It's working. Sorry. Anyways, muted for a second. It's always those seconds. Had to rejoin to get audio. Very weird. Hey, the joys of dealing with third-party crap. So this is done. We're going to throw the boxes in there, put the floor mats. Let's put the floor mats back in.
Yeah.
Of course, Paul needs something. But that's all we got. That's what's happening here. Tomorrow is another day. Thank goodness. We did just find out today that in 3 weeks, on the 8th, on May 8th, we're going to have our good friend Gary Bell of the Old Fashioned Podcast, and also he works at Stinger. He'll be here live. So it's a Thursday night. We're going to do a Thursday night show here before the Hi-Fi Vegas stuff. So it's going to be like from 6 to 7. And then I'll run home and do Hi-Fi show. But we'll have him here. We can ask him all kinds of questions. We can talk about audio control. He's a product planner. But we'll find out exactly what his title is, which will be fun. I think Lexus would be a good goal for Kenwood iData in the future, APX. So talking about APX, yes, it would. Toyota, Lexus, some of the Dodges that aren't covered, as well as I think Honda are phase 2. So right now there's 3 phases of the program. So phase 1 is what's going to ship next month, followed by phase 2 and phase 3. So trust me, they know what you want.
Don't trust me.
I'm trusting them. So we're trusting them that they know what we want and they're going to deliver. But yes, that's the plan. Does 2020 Nissan Sentra have a T-harness available? See, there again, I don't know everyone's T-harnesses and part numbers, but I do know where to go and look. And that would be pack-audio.com as well as metraonline.com. Those are the 2 places you can go and find out if a T-harness exists. I would try Pack first. My guess is yes, it's a 2020 Nissan. It's a pretty straightforward harness. They probably have one there. And if you want, they also sell an extension cable, which is really cool, which is this guy right here. This is what we used in this car, even though we didn't need the T-harness. It's the APHEXT17. That thing is gold because unlike Speedwire, it doesn't have all the jacketing that the Speedwire has, and it comes with 2 runs of front and 2 runs of rear. So we actually grabbed one of these to do the wiring into that because we didn't have room for 2 runs of Speedwire. So it actually worked out really well. So that's a trick. That's a new trick. We stole that trick from the guys at Sounds Good, Sage. They shipped one of their products with that, and we're like, hey, where did you get that? And they were like, Pack. My bad. So cool. But yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a thing. Who knew? But yeah, Sage and the boys. Sage and the boys. Pack and Metro don't have. I just checked. Okay, then no. All right, so plan B, if they don't make anything for it, is what we would do is we would end up cutting the harness in an area that is not close to the harness. So we'd strip away the wire. And we would solder in these, which are little 4-pin connectors. So we put a male and female in so that, so here's both ends, male and female of our own. You get these off Amazon. They come in like a bag of 10 or something. They're relatively inexpensive. You just need 2, or you need 4, 2 of each, or 4. Yeah, 8 total. So yeah, just pick up a bag. The other thing too listen, I don't always believe what they say on the website. So I'm pulling the radio out, looking at the harness, taking a picture of it, and then I'm going back to their website and checking, because what happens is they don't always validate, like they don't have the car to validate it. So then we have to pull it and validate it ourselves. So that's what happens some of the time. We need to fix that power thing, the power cable. Look at the wire coming out in your hand. Look at the wire coming out of the charger. Apparently everything's falling apart today. So I don't want to pack it away yet because I want to fix it before the next one.
You can fix that.
Yeah, you can. You can totally fix it. And Dean, I can fix anything. So that's what Haley thinks. So, anyways. Any news on Modus units? No. Haven't really had a chance to talk to anybody from there. We need to find out what's going on. So, who has the better budget 3-way component set? Morel, Focal, is there a better choice? So, budget-wise, I think, okay, so here's the thing. As of May 1st, there isn't going to be any. So if you're looking to do this, you need to do it now. Because in like next week, it's going to be over. All the prices go up and there will be no budget stuff. Because budget stuff does not come from country of origin. So like, for example, Focal, the budget stuff, they outsource. They design it and they have it built somewhere else. All the other stuff is built in France. So outsourced stuff like that comes from a place where you can zip that up, where the tariffs are going to be ridiculous, and so we know what the new pricing is, and it's going to suck. Anyways, with that being said, all things created equal, Morel does have more choices of cost-effective 3-way sets. So I would probably look at the Morels. That's why I can't see.
Yes, that's it.
Like, all right. Oh, it's so much better. I'm Dean. I can fix anything. It feels that way. That's what they tell me. Any experience with the mid-tier radiant system in the Jag EX? Okay, so you started with Jag? No. I hate those things. I hate those. I have not. I do not have any experience with that. Sorry. I would make calls. I have friends that have. I know. I would reach out to them, find out. Sound really underwhelming. Is it just a case of sound deadening that needs to be applied and proper amplification? So, to answer that portion of it is actually the easier part. when any system, it doesn't matter whose name is on it, sound dampening or sound treatment or trying to quiet the cab of a car is really what you're trying to do, right? So you can do two things with sound treatment. You can stop rattles by making the material more rigid, so like this door panel here is, so this is a pocket, it's nice and hollow. That we sound treated the whole side of this. This is like super, but this is not, because it's a pocket. So sound treatment went on that to make it more rigid. We didn't put it on there to kill road noise. So if you're trying to bring down the overall quietness of the cabin, then sound treatment for sure. That'll make the experience inside of it quieter. However, it's a Jaguar, which means there's probably a decent amount of sound treatment in it. I'm guessing. I don't know. There again, don't like the cars. Like the cars, but not to work on them. Let me rephrase that. Now, if you're sitting quiet and you turn up the stereo and it's not loud enough, well, then sound treatment isn't going to change that, right? Because there's no exterior noise coming in to color the music. So that would tell me that, oh no, it's a volume problem, which is an amplification problem. So at that point, you have to go, all right, I need to make it louder. But the speakers in the car aren't going to take more power than what they're given. They're just not going to do that. They're cheap speakers. They're made to handle the wattage that the car has and not much more. So like you figure a factory system has between 18 and 25 watts typically. So you're going to put between 50 to 80 watts to it. The speakers aren't going to be rated for that. You'll probably just blow them. So it's a bigger problem of, man, I need more better. Love that word. I need more better speakers that can handle more power, and then I need more power. So that's kind of how you would approach that scenario, regardless of the car manufacturer, is trying to figure out what is actually occurring and how do I fix it. I like the Jaguar F-Types. I like them too. I like the convertible, but I just don't like working on them. It's just, certain cars you just don't feel. And the Jaguar has always been one of them. Probably because, early on in my career we had to work on those things and they were just, the Alpine system in that thing was just trash. Now it's owned by Tata. It's a totally different car, but I still don't feel, it's just certain cars just don't like. Second Skin has a deal on B-Stock right now. How do you have B-Stock sound treatment? Unless it's just like blemished. Dean, running power wire through the firewall has to be the worst part of the job. No, dealing with ANC, the fake engine noise and the noise canceling, that is the worst part of the job. Eventually the power wire will get through the firewall. That it will happen. It's going to take time, but it will happen. Getting rid of fake engine noise and stuff like that is out of our control. That may never happen. That's to me what sucks. Getting into a job and going, I can't do this job because the manufacturer has done something that nobody has figured out how to get around. Or the cost of getting around it is so high, it's not worth doing. So for example, the new GM, so General Motors, so they have a GMC, they have a Chevy pickup that is a non-branded premium audio system. So what that means is it's got the same Bose amplifier in the back of it, but it has no subwoofer. So it's just an amp. But what GM did is they put the fake engine noise into the factory radio and not into the amplifier. I'm sorry, it's in the amplifier, not in the radio. But normally there's two wires that you can disconnect and it goes away and life is great. But this system you can't, because it's not a Bose system. It's just this weird GM system that they came up with. Now the good news is you can use the Pack Amp Pro GM71 in there. Everything is fine. But if you just want to add a subwoofer, it kind of sucks. So because you have to amplify the mids and highs, otherwise you're going to have tons of noise. So, and you got to buy a GM71, which is even more money compared to, let's say, just the generic high level, low level. So it's like, oh my God, that scenario just blows chunks. It's and there's nothing we can do. Like there's no GM programming tool. There's just, you have to do a full stereo upgrade in it or nothing. It's like, well, at least there's something, but it still sucks. Thanks for your input, Dean, on the Jag. Nobody probably going to swap out some millihertz pros. Ooh. With a hand, shell mount 10 to the boot. The cabin is relatively quiet. Just a lot of rattles on the door. Yep, so there you go. Some sound treatment to kill the rattles. Perfect. And that's a great speaker. Nice and loud and like in your face. Sounds good with rock. Usually blemishes. Oh, then buy some. I'm not rich enough to have a car that comes with ANC. LOL. Dude, you're kidding me? The Nissan, the Nissan Altima now has ANC? So it doesn't matter. The cheap Nissans, the Honda Civics, you going to get them?
Yeah.
Okay. Just got to go pick up the juniors. So yeah, it's becoming really everywhere. It's just annoying. A lot of the Toyotas, base model Toyotas, have it. How am I adding sub to the 25 Caddy Escalade AK? I have no idea. That one, I honestly don't have an idea on that one yet. I haven't done any research on it. And they don't make an Amp Pro for it yet. So I've read some things, but at the end of the day, it just, I don't know. Working on it. Okay. The juniors are automatic ANC. Yeah. Almost all new cars have ANC these days. Yeah, no, it sucks. I like it when it's just a simple module or a wire that I can deal with. To me, that's the best. Some of the cars, very few of the cars, it's in the radio. Ford, you got to use some Russian software, which is always fun. But hey, it's just joy of it all, right? So cleaning up while, yeah. So everything has a case, right? Everything has a place that it has to go in order to keep things sane. As you haven't figured out yet, like very organized. Still can't find anything, but at least I know it's somewhere where it's supposed to be, which is cool. Boo, I know. Why do head units these days not come with optical out? Okay. The High 10 from Stinger is over there. Anyways, that does have an optical out. The first branded radio, so if we want to take and say, well, High 10's, it's not one of the big five. Fine, that's cool. No big deal. I'll go with you on that. Kenwood will have their first optical head units next month. So the new replacement, which is going to be the 1058, so the XR 1058, so it'll be the DMX 1058XR. It's the replacement for that. We'll have a couple things. One, it'll be a single DIN instead of a double DIN. It'll be a shorter chassis, and it will have optical out. The Exelon versions of the direct replacement radios will also have optical out. So, optical is coming. But I'm with you. The funny thing is they actually had a digital output on their radios years and years ago that nobody ever used because there was no application for it. So that's why they dropped it. So, we used to have an old double DIN. I think it's over here somewhere. It's underneath Fernando's bench. Anyways, we had an old double DIN that had a digital output on it. And it was like, oh wow, look at that. But no one ever used it, so just can't, they were like, why are we spending the money on this? That's what happened to HDMI. So everyone was crying, like, I want an HDMI. Well, they were like, dude, nobody has used their HDMIs ever. Sorry, checking the wheels on this. Why does it feel like one is on? Off. Sorry, don't mean to be a little scared. Ah, there we go. See, a new one was on. Anyways, they took HDMI out because no one was actually using it. The moment they took it out, the one guy that wanted it started complaining about not having HDMI. Right? Go figure. But that's just, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So now they put it on there, and it's there, even though there again, maybe 1% of the people that buy them actually use it. So I just want an Apex kit for the Lexus LS 460. Me too. Definitely. Trust me, I want a kit for all the Lexuses because I really hate doing these iPod integrations or Apple device, you know, like putting the CarPlay, Android Auto integration into them. Oh, I hate that. Just, I mean, it works, but it just, I don't know, drives me kind of crazy. So, ooh, you know, I never saw what the bathroom looked like in here. You know, okay, so it's actually pretty nice bathroom. So, pooper, and then here's the shower. This is the most important thing so, you know, one of the things, like, I love looking at these little tiny house / SUV / you know, go on the road, go camping things. I think they're cool to own. Don't like working on them. But the one thing, like, I see is a lot of these guys don't do toilets. And it's like, I spend way too much time on the toilet to not have a toilet in my house. That would freak me out. You know, especially when it's like 0 degrees outside where some of these guys are at. They're like, yeah, I don't need a toilet. It's like, what the frick? How do you not have a toilet? You know, they have some really cool ones too, like they have an incinerator toilet and all that other fun stuff. There again, I don't know if that would work for me, but, you know. Fine job. That LED Disney piece looks really cool. Thank you. Every now and then I'm proud of stuff I do, and that one was one of them. I was really excited, and of course immediately we get done with it, and I go, I have so many ideas for the next one. Because, dude, it's amazing too. So, those guys didn't see this Instagram last night. I came on, I showed the Sorcerer Disney that I just got done making for our cruise. And we put LEDs around it. I always say we, because Fernando's usually standing here. And it works off of 3 AA batteries. And it worked from 9 o'clock till 4 in the morning off those 3 AA batteries. I just left it on. Battery-powered LED strips. Yeah. So, totally coolest thing ever. Like, blown away by how long those batteries lasted. So this morning I ordered some rechargeable AA's that are USB chargeable, so I can take them on the ship with me. So I can it comes as like a pack of 8, so that should be enough for the whole trip. And then if it's not, I can charge them. But yeah, to get like 8 hours off, and it was bright up until the last minute, and then it was just like, no more power. And you're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So, but next time I was thinking what I might do is bypass the color changing and go to specific colors. So on that one, the hat lights up, the stars in the hat light up white. And then when I got done with it, I was looking at it, I was like, oh, man, it'd been really cool if I had had the LEDs around the hat light up blue and the ones around his cape light up red, and the ones around his hands light up white. Would have been a lot of soldering. And I have to get a thinner wire because I need like a 50 or a 30. 22 gauge is too big. So I need a really thin wire to do it. So I'm going to have to find some super thin wire for the next one. But I'd like to do something like that where the lighting corresponds to the color of the acrylic. I think that would be badass. So, because I just don't have room to do, like, put an Adreno in there. I don't have room for that. It's like I got enough for 3 batteries and the little controller, which I wouldn't even need the controller if I had the colors, if I just had the lights light up the color I wanted. So next time. GS9 had optical out, but you weren't supposed to use it. Correct, you were not supposed to use it because the GS9's claim to fame was the Saber DAC that was in it. And so if you bought, or if you used the Toslink output, you were bypassing the whole purpose and why you bought it. So it really didn't make any sense. But yes, and the reason why it had it was because the engineer that built it, they gave him the home unit and said, fit this into this chassis. And he fitted in the chassis, not realizing that it really didn't need that, according to the story that I heard. Is Kenwood going to come out with an 8-inch disk drive with optical out? Nothing with a disc. No, there'll be no CD anywhere. They were ahead of their time. They were. Do you use the way... I do. I used to watch YouTube while driving all the time. So I used to have a TV tuner when that was a thing. So I used to watch TV while driving. So like on Sunday, the girls would watch the football game. At lunchtime, I'd go watch whatever talk show was on in the middle of the day. It was fantastic. And then they did away with that, and it kind of sucked because it was way cool. Hi, Sue. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Anyways, so that's all we got for now. I'm going to head out. I'm going to finish cleaning up, and hopefully he'll be here to pick this up in the next half hour or so, and I get back to normal life. Yay! You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye. You need a blankie? You want to curl up, take a nappy poo?
How did these cars just...
What, suck so bad?
Yeah.
It's a Honda, bro. You can put a radio in it now. They make a dash kit.
You can.
Yeah, you can. What's up, Sue? What's up, Lance? Any update on the radio, Lance? Just saying. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Friday? It's Friday, right? Friday! Anyways, what's happening? So, got a Civic in, just wrap it up right now. Funny thing happened earlier today, and I don't mean like funny, like, I mean like funny, oh, geez. So, check it out. We have a no-see-ums that come after the rain. So, we have citronella candles, you know, the kind you put out by your pool. And this one was almost done. And I typically keep it right here where you can see right there. That's where it goes. And it's no big deal, right? It's just a 6-inch, nothing, you know, no major thing. Well, this one at the end of its life decided that it was going to like go vapor on us. And I'm over here. I was doing something in this area here. And I turn around and look over to this. You can kind of see the dark area right there. So I look over and I'm like, holy crap. It's a trash can on fire. Not the actual, the little silver can was on fire. And I was like, I should probably put that out. So then it was like, it's on fire.
How did you put that out?
And that was it. I'm like, how do I put it out? And I was like, I kicked the can. Shit went everywhere. Fire's dripping all over the place. And finally I was like, oh yeah, turn it over. So I burned the tips of my fingers. I turned the can over so it starves the oxygen of it. And Fernando, he's acting like he's the hero here. He's just looking at fire on the floor, going, oh, there's fire on the floor. There's fire on the floor. And I go, dude, step on it, put it out. He's like, oh yeah. You know, and I'm over here 5-toeing this, you know, foot gloving this thing.
No, so what I was trying to do is trying to figure it out where the fire came from. So I was looking
just
like
let the fire burn.
And I'm like, all right, so
yeah. He's like turning it into a project.
Here and then started, so we had to find that out.
Yeah. I knew how. I'm just looking at the fire, going, dude, I'm dealing with this. Could you put out the other little embers that are going? Oh my god,
like, bro, what do you?
Needless to say, if the shit goes sideways, you don't want this guy. He's just gonna look at it and figure it out.
Just trying to figure it out where they.
Yeah. He's like, you're screwed. That could have been a lot of things.
What?
Yeah. Either way, point is there was no no-see-ums, and that's all that really matters. And I got to go to Target and buy some more because that was the last one. Summer sucks. Yeah. So, anyways. The Civic that is Fernando's putting the back seat in. This is getting might as well call it the 5 o'clock special. We talked about it a lot. This car is so dirty. It's like, I feel like he lives on a dirt road or something. But he's getting the P312 wedge back, not wedge front. Beavis and Butthead moment. Oh yeah, totally. When did it rain? I don't know. It rained here. Dude. These people talk so loud on the phone. It's like, okay, if I'm talking on the phone, I'm not talking like this. Like, if I'm FaceTiming or something like this, yeah, I get it. But I'm still talking at a normal level. Dude, we can hear her conversation in here. Like, I don't know what it is. Why?
It's normal.
I know.
Spanish people is normal.
Yeah, but the Asian lady does it too.
Huh?
The little Asian lady does it too. Wow. It's crazy, these people. I swear, right? Anyways, so back to this. P300 wedge back. So there's a wedge back and a wedge front. So we just call it a sedan or a truck version. It's in here, nice and simple install. It's a Civic, so there's no ANC, which is fabulous. Of course, I thought this was an Accord, because why would I look at the sticker on the back? And I go to start taking it apart, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? So, boom. Dirty. Shameful. Anyways, it happens. Yeah, they want us to be part of the conversation. For sure. So, anyways, that's that. This is done. Really pretty simple install. It's 4 o'clock, which is cool. Which still means we have 2 hours left of this crap. Let me show you what else has been going on today. In Fernando's quest to master Fusion 360, we've been working on these things. This is our proof of concept for the cigarette lighter to Kenwood. So we have Sony and Kenwood USB-Cs, and honestly, it doesn't matter which one is which. So the Sony has a bigger cable, and it's more or less just which one we have in stock when we go to deal with it. So we have the Kenwood, we have the JVC, and then this one here is the final project with the acrylic put into place. So we've been testing how to 3D print this and make it look as nice as possible. And we found out that if we print it at an angle, like such, it gives us the best look here, because like this gives us this look, which is like, I gotta sand and paint it. This, I don't have to sand and paint. It actually looks pretty nice from the get-go. So this'll go in. So we think this is gonna be the final. So these are just a bunch of tests. The first one we tested printing. The key is you got to have the hole perfectly straight. I put it sideways, so it printed weird. But now we have a master. You guys need a resin printer. Listen, slow down, killer.
Who said that?
Just one of the guys.
I mean,
Encouraging a B&B moment. Yeah. Anyway, no. Listen. Let's figure this out, and then we'll worry about a resin printer.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. There again. Pretty cool. That'll look good. No, there are certain things that a resin printer would be nice, and a lot of those we just do with a laser, because, that's where you want a really sexy front surface. But ever think about 3D printing a head unit dash kit? No, because we don't really need that.
Print what?
The head unit, a dash kit.
Why?
Exactly. I mean, at some point, might be a thing. I don't see why not. But right now, no.
I mean, we already have them.
Yeah.
Like data makes really nice with metal, so.
Yeah. Forget, yeah. White guy does that. Everybody gets scared and thinks you dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah. No, trust me. Those white guy moments, like, hey, you know what we should do? Let's go swimming with the great white sharks.
Oh, see, that's crazy. White people.
That's some sad.
That's like, what? Yeah, no. Like,
yeah.
seriously.
Let's go wrestle bears.
What?
Oh no, my car's dirty right now. There's no question about it. It's on my list of things to do.
You?
Yeah, my car just needs a
My
bath.
car is dirty too.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I just know my car's dirty. So one of the other things, continuing on the Disney thing that we had to do. So we printed the Sorcerer Mickey. I made Haley a graduation thing, Shark Week white guy style. Yeah, exactly. Of course, everybody else was like, "What about us?" So these are,
Like the movie?
yeah, these are for everybody else. So these are some acrylic. Made these really quick last night and this morning. So they're again cool magnets. I probably can't get it off because yeah, they're magnetic. But yeah, so a couple different pieces of acrylic. So you got white peel and stick with black outline, which is cool because it kind of gives it a nice floating look with a drop shadow. It's this stuff right here. So this is this, and so this is the black version of it. So it's a black top with a white core, and then we have the white with the black core, which is really cool, and that's what this is. So this is white with a black core, which is why it looks super thin. Is that so? You have flat black on high gloss black, which gives you this, and then like the dots look really cool because they give you that outline look. Spent a lot of time thinking about these, which is probably a waste of time, but it makes me feel good about myself. And we were doing dueling lasers, so we were running the Glowforge and the X-Tool at the same time, and I'm going, damn, I can't keep up. Yesterday I was like, dude, this is all going so fast. Really cool there. Disney, I would like a chat. No, so these are there again. I can do whatever I want. It's not like I'm selling these things. And I do go on Etsy. Jesus. You made the Mickey. Do you engrave it with what cruise it was from? No, because we might have to reuse it at some point. In the past, I've just had Haley cut like a vinyl sticker on the Cricket. But I do engrave our name in it. So our name is on it because it's like I just don't want some random thing that somebody will walk up and be like, oh, hey, this is pretty. So it does have our name all over it. But no, like when we did the Christmas tree years ago, it was on the Wish, and so we put like the Wish on it. But ever since then, we've just put our name, and I etched that into it because I think that's kind of cool. I don't think I did any. Did we do anything on the pumpkin? I feel like we might have done something on the pumpkin. I did on the pirate ship. On the pirate ship, I put our names, and I used the black with white for the sail, so I could put like a Mickey pirate on it. That was pretty cool. It's a bit silly, but yeah. Anyways, it's always neat to do something outside of here. And then, of course, this week we had fun doing the Winnebago A-pillars. So I have a bunch of pieces, sample pieces left over. I might glue these together and play some more with it. I haven't decided. I might. I probably won't just because I don't want to. But like this one was a blem because, like you can see these right here, I didn't cut them in the drawing, so I had to go back and readjust all of those. That's Paul calling. And he likes to borrow people, so he's going to borrow Fernando for a minute. Just need to make little badges that connect below the metal loop for each cruise, like military medals. LOL. No, there's some people that do that. So sometimes you see really cool ideas, and there's one really cool idea that somebody does where they have these, like there's like a Mickey cruise, and then they have hanging down like that all of their room keys from each ship. So, and it's not like there's a physical room key that they make. They've made their own room keys. So it's say like Disney Wish room 6042, and then the year, and then so they have tons. Like they've stayed on way too many cruises. But that's actually pretty cool, and I could probably figure that out at this point because I really haven't gone on that many cruises. But What color are the front, left, and right speakers on the Kenwood radio harness? White is driver's front. Gray is passenger front. Green is driver's rear. Purple is passenger. Solids are positive. Stripes are negative. They're all the same. Everyone uses the same colors now. So it makes life super easy. Unlike in the past, Pioneer used to be weird, and they used to use these weird green colors that nobody appreciated. So they finally, everyone adopted the standard colors. These are standard colors that everyone uses. Thank God. Yeah, so you just need to add a wedge to it.
Yeah.
Just start with a cone.
Huh?
Start with a cone.
Cone?
A cone. Ice cream cone. Cone.
A cone?
Cone. No M.
Cone?
Ah, terrible. Anyways. So that's what's going on this Friday. Not too exciting. Did some car this morning. Don't remember what it was. Sad. Yeah, the news. Been cutting stuff up. Ooh, so I was talking the other day, like we're starting to move the screws out of there, so like a couple of those are missing, and hopefully I'll get another couple of those out of here maybe next week. But one of the things that I was most excited about, this little things in life. Up until now, all the acrylic, specialty acrylic, so we use a lot of black acrylic, obviously. But I stock a bunch of colors because I like to do silly stuff like making the Mickeys. The acrylic was in a drawer, and it made it very hard to get to it. And so now, this is the best. So now we have all the acrylic on its own shelf. So we got 1/8 inch, quarter, 1/16, all set and ready to go. I can look at it and figure out what color it is. It's so nice. Yeah, made my day. It was like the happiest day last week. It's like, this is awesome. I know, little things. Yes, going to see the accountant too tonight. Can't wait. Yeah, so anyways, that's what we got going on. Nothing too exciting. Just trying to wrap up Friday. Using all the tools today. Had all the printers going. Had the 3D printers. Had the lasers going. So just getting stuff done. One thing I did figure out when I was moving my fire can is I need new gloves. Because both of these have holes where the fingers are, which I had these on, oddly enough, at the time. Popcorn. Totally going to get popcorn tonight. Have to get popcorn tonight. That's what the movies are all about. It's the only reason why I'm going to the movies is so I can get popcorn at the movies. Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's really about it. So hopefully the first thing I plan on doing when we get back from our trip is pulling out the Morels and getting started on those. What are you printing? We're printing some cigarette lighter USB-C adapters and some Disney magnets. I've always heard the phrase color the sound. Can you color the sound but can't see it? Yeah, right? That's well, I think they're using it as a not in the literal sense of color. I think they're using it more in the sense of when you use the term as it's you've colored somebody's personality or the thoughts have been colored. So not talking about like a rainbow of colors. I think it's just meaning that you've changed the music to sound something other than natural or real or whatever your baseline is, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It was funny because they were last night I was going back listening to a classic podcast earlier this year, like February. I think it was called The Prestige on Old Fashioned Podcast, and Gary Bell, who's going to be on the show in a couple weeks, he was talking about his analogy for car audio and how this industry really, like, if you don't like what I like, which, you know, if you're not on my team, you suck. You know, there's a lot of different ways, and a lot of different ways to listen to music, and a lot of different ways people appreciate music. And is there a right way, a wrong way, or is the way you want to listen to it good for you, therefore it should be good for everybody? Or can you respect the fact that you like to listen to something one way, somebody else might not want to, and it's okay. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of people like, oh, you don't have a perfect center image. Well, yeah, well, I can't hear out of that ear, so it's perfect for me. Or I like something that's a little bit more bright, or a little less bright, or a little bit more mid-range, or something more wide, something that you know, there's different ways to listen to music that you can appreciate and really enjoy. You might like it to where it's overly dynamic and sound almost unrealistically colorful, so to speak. Like everything is just like super saturated. And I guess that would always be like SQL, which I hate that term because it makes absolutely no sense. It's just loud. If it sounds good and it's loud. And what makes it SQ? So, you know, that doesn't make any sense either, because you're just throwing a name on something. If you like loud music, you like loud music. I really don't care how you like it. You just like it loud. So let's give you loud music. It doesn't really matter, you know, what, you know, there again, if you're a purist, then you're not going to like it. So just be fine with the fact that you like loud music, and it's okay. You know, or you like music that has a lot of bass. It's okay. We don't have to be so mean to everybody, is really what it comes down to. If you like something a certain way, you know, if you like ketchup on your steak, but that's all right, you know. That's how you like it. I don't like steak, but I know that's a big faux pas. Will the new Kenwood screens replacement cover the Ford Broncos? Not at first, I don't think. The small screen Bronco, I don't actually, you know what? We can find out. Because it's actually on their website. Oh, hang on. So the application guide, which I'm sure Fernando has one like in the top of his workbench. Let's check and see if he has it in the top of his toolbox, because it would be so much faster. Because he never really puts anything away. He does. That's so cool. All right, that makes me so happy. All right. Ford, Mustangs. What did we say? You said Bronco. Let's go back then, because that's Ford. It's not going to be in the first wave. Yeah. It's not in the first wave. It's so sad. I think that's a second or third wave car. It will at some point. But it does not at first. But that doesn't mean there isn't gonna. It's really what it comes down to is the hardware talking. So the software talking is really the most important thing. And the Bronco with that basic dash, which I'm assuming that's what you mean, the one with the small boring dash, is really the one that sucks. Bronco, here we go. No radio replacement. Yeah. So I'm honestly surprised they listed that. Oh, because that's a A to B interface. Huh. I wonder why. So there's a lot of things that could be an issue with the Bronco. One is it uses the new plug. They might not have that because the F-150 has a new plug, but I don't think they have support for the data behind the 2020, the newer data bus. Maybe not. I don't know. That would be interesting. What is the holdup on that? You know what? I will look into that in the next couple weeks, because I feel like that's kind of an important one. I've always heard, okay. Good afternoon. Hi, how you doing? Do you prefer the Kenwood 6x9 component or the kicker? Do they both get loud? So Kenwood only, okay, so when you say component, Kenwood doesn't make like a 6x9 and a tweeter. They make the 6903s and the 6902s. Kicker does make a 6x9 component, and they do make a 6x9 with a 2.5. So different, and they're both really nice. My personal favorite is the 6x9 with the 3.5, if it'll fit, the 6903s. Once you go past that, it's anybody's guess. So, at that point, you just go with the brand you like. What's the website for the braided loom you order from? So, that is, hold on. Electra Duck. Yeah, there we go. All right, it's Electra Duck. And I will spin this around, and I will show you right there. So that's it. They are also the supplier on Amazon, so when you buy directly from them, you sidestep Amazon. But this website has changed so much from like when it first started. Specialty sleeving, standard sleeving, pet sleeving. It says pet. PET expandable braided sleeving, colored by spool. Ooh, oh, look at this. Hover over. Ooh, look at all these. Yeah, check this out. So there you go. So a lot of these you've seen on Amazon, but there's them. There's some rainbow ones over here. These are pretty neat. This is the standard spiral red. That I like. The gray and white looks cool. Black Magic. I don't know why they call it Black Magic. I mean, I'm assuming it's black, but it looks kind of purple, which they do have purple. Look at that, dark purple. Ooh, purple. I should do something with purple. I feel like purple's cool. Wow, Black Magic, huh? That's neat. Desert. So let's take a look at the pricing. Half inch. All right, so a half inch, 500 feet. It's a lot. It's $160. A half inch spool, 100 feet. It's $40. That's actually a pretty good deal. 3/8, believe it or not, is more. The smaller you go, the more expensive it gets. They go all the way up to 3 inches. So, pretty cool. So we typically, 3/4, I think, is the biggest we get. 250 foot spool, which is half, is $111. So, not bad. There you go. Thanks for checking. Yes, I have the small screen and patiently waiting. Yeah, I'm with you. Like I said, I got to get with them and find out what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's hardware, meaning the electronics work, but the dash kit doesn't. Because the way that radio is in there is very weird. Because the radio is, like, if you've watched the video, the radio faces down, but that's the whole purpose of these kits. I wonder if the orientation of the radio for that might be a problem. We don't know. We'll find out. How do we get more women into car audio? I wish I had the answer to that. I just don't think it's, I don't know. I mean, we have Jordan, works at Stinger, really cool. There was one tech support girl that was at Mobile Solutions, one of the Orca trainings. Haley went. I know older women that are in there, people my age. There's a couple of those, but they don't actually do installs. But Lori from Kicker, she was tech support for years before she was the regional sales manager. I just don't think it's something that they're into. In the world of SPL, there's the Velpa, I think is their name, out of Germany or somewhere over there, that does that. On Instagram. I don't know. That's one of those things. How do I take my DIY installs to the next level? I mean, you're watching the videos. What do you want to? I mean, buy laser? That's really 2023 Toyota Tundra non-JBL system. I want to add amps. Is BeatSonic plug and play worth it? Should I wait for iData Link or Pack Audio to come out with their tried and true modules? All right, so non-JBL Toyota 2023 non-JBL, simplest thing in the world. Okay, this is an easy one, believe it or not. T-harness already exists for non-amplified. You can get it from Pack. You really only need the front speakers, but if you want the rear speakers, that's cool. If you want to easily upgrade this, depends. Now, DSP, no DSP, right? There's where the question comes in. Obviously, if you want to do DSP, that's going to give you the best results. De-equalization is key if you're going to add DSP, because you need to get to as close to a clean slate as possible. For that, that's why Kicker makes the key lock. You come out of that 2023 Tundra non-JBL into a key lock, T-harness right in, put some LGD green load resistors on it from Audio Control or Metro, or even Memphis sells them. Green are all the same. And then that'll fix the all-pass filters, the de-equalization, fix the time, the whole thing, give you a nice, the flattest signal possible out of that factory radio. Super easy, gives you a set of RCAs, and from there, you now have a clean left and right. Now you can go off to your DSP, and you can build the biggest system you ever could possibly think of. Toyotas have never done amp pros on factory radios that are non-amplified. So if you buy, for example, like in a Chrysler, amp pros will work in amplified, non-amplified. Some of the Fords, amplified, non-amplified through iData. Some of the Chevys, amplified, non-amplified, because it's just audio over most bus. There are some catches to it, but for the most part, cool. Toyota, JBL, amp pro. It's the only way it's ever been. There's no tapping into it or recoding the radio so far on any of that to give us non-BS outputs. So if you rolled in here with a 2023 non-amplified non-JBL system, wanted to add a bunch of stuff, I'm selling you the key lock, go into a DSP amp, done. Because it's faster, for one. Even if I sold you an amp that had a bunch of de-equalization crap in it, the key lock just handles it so much faster for $129. It's like my labor and hours of tuning is more than the key lock, so it's almost silly just to not do it. Now, if you feel you need rears, you buy two key locks. Put one in front, put one on the rear. Done deal, no big deal. And it's still cheaper than an Amp Pro. So it's black and purple. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Nice. I like that. I'm going to have to get some of that. That sounds cool. What happened to wire care? You just moved on to Electroduck. So wire care still does our 5-star heat shrink. They still do that. But pricing, listen, I searched around for expanded braided sleeving because we go through a ton of it. And Electroduck just had the best price at the end of the day. The service is the same. They don't want to talk to you. So like originally, wire care, you could call them and talk to them on the phone. And the last time I called them to order the heat shrink, the chick was a bitch. Just go onto our website and order it. I'm like, well, I mean, I got you on the phone. Can you just look up our account? And no, just go. I mean, it's totally rude. And I was just like, so I was rude back because, screw that. You're kind of a bitch. Like, I don't think I want to order from you. And it took me like another month before I ordered from them because I was just like, they pissed me off that much. Great people, don't get me wrong, great people. And I just was not up to the fact that they just don't want to talk to people anymore. So that was my bad for doing that. And she could have just been polite and say, hey, I'm sorry, we just don't do, phone sales anymore. We just, or just not answer the phone. That would have been better. So, but Electroduct has always been strictly mail order. There's like, they have a contact us here. You're not calling anybody. There's no one to talk to. So that's, there's a woman on MTX social media. Yes, there is. There is definitely, because she was at MasterTech. Don't forget about the one lady from Crutchfield. I forgot her name. Mary Lou. Yes, very much so. Mary Lou. You guys love Mary Lou. Almost to the point of uncomfortableness. But yes, I meant as in more women getting installs in their car. We do tons of women's cars. Actually, the car we did before this one was a lady. She had a Silverado. We hooked up her Silverado. But yeah, no, we actually do they don't go crazy. Like, they're not, like, very rarely do women go, like, because they don't see the value in it. Yesterday we had a young lady bring in her Jeep, and we did a basic package, our basic package in that to make it sound better. So that was phase one of this, because she's like, I really don't know what to do. She didn't want to be taken advantage of, and I don't want to take advantage of her. So I was like, all right, let's just do our basic package. Let's get it sounding better, and then we'll figure out where we need to go from there. So, but no, we actually do quite a few. The thing is like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna comment on it. Maybe demo some music. I just think they have a hard time rationalizing the expense. Like, guys can rationalize expending like $10,000 on something like it's nobody's business. Like, if you're married and have a wife, like, they can see spending money on, like, maybe a purse or clothes or shoes or some stuff like that. But like a stereo, most of them don't have that gene that makes them allowed to do that. They just be like, are you nuts? Key 501 has a key lock built into it, correct? Yes, it does. It has a sub-frequency key lock built into it. So it's only from 0 to like 160 is what it's tuning for, so which is plenty. But yes, the key 500.1, that's what makes it so great. You get 500 watts, you get de-equalization, you hook it up, life is great. Definitely one of my favorite small little amplifiers to put into something. What's up, Phantom Chris? Car Audio Chris. I think lower bass and clear highs would be nice. Taylor Swift song demos. I'm serious. You're probably right. Yeah, I mean, for sure. And like, no joke. Most of the time when you're talking to women, you can't use guy logic or whatever that is, where it's like you talk down to them or something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a wife, I have a daughter, and I try to not, like, dad things or mansplain. That's it, mansplain. I try not to mansplain because we know women don't like that. So I just try to, talk to them like they're dudes and that they kind of understand what I'm saying, even though they probably don't. But most men don't either. They just nod their heads and say, yeah. So, but no, Taylor Swift would probably be a good, if they're into that. Some girls don't like that, I found out. Thank you for the uncomfortable comment. I get creeped out with those comments. Exactly. Yeah. So listen, it is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be taking your questions. Fernando's back. We're going to do a nice Saturday show. Last Saturday was a lot of fun with Chris and Chris on there talking about some classic car audio stuff. But this Saturday, we're back to the grind, back to answering your questions and making sense of this crazy thing we call car stereo, right? Brought to you by, good call. Thanks, man. Brought to you by the fine folks at Morel. This is the next big project we're going to be working on. This one right here, getting those Sensus speakers put into these cabinets. That is job one when I get back from my little vacation, is we are going to be getting the Sensus into these. I can't wait. We have some audio control stuff we have to do. We got to do an amp dyno on the Altitude 800. So that'll be one of the videos we film right away. Might actually film that next week before I go. We'll see. Next week, before I forget, next week, Wednesday night, we're going to have Josh from JVZ Kenwood here. So we can talk about direct replacement, all those questions you have. He'll be on the show. We have a training Tuesday night that we're going to, and he's going to stay. so that we can do a special edition, Josh. So we'll be able to talk to him about all this new stuff that's coming out. So definitely looking forward to that. So if you guys have any questions about the new Kenwood stuff, next Wednesday will be the day you get to ask. But anyways, MorelleHiFi.com is the place you can go to find the cool people that make this show possible. Pick up some of their cool speakers. Yeah, all that fun stuff. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.